So if we take a look at one other thing I want to talk about is blood flow. So kind of moving away from resistance and just taking a look at blood flow velocity before we put all of the blood flow, blood pressure gradients, and resistance together. So with what blood flow velocity is going to be the speed, really, at which the blood is flowing through. And this doesn't have anything to do with pressure. So remember, pressure is going to have to do with the force of blood up against a structure. This is looking at the speed that the blood is going through the vasculature. So this actually is going to have to do with the cross-sectional area. Look at that. So remember, we have so many more capillaries. We have 60,000 miles of capillaries. So, and that's why we have less elastic arteries. We have a lot more capillaries. And then, of course, down here with our large veins, we have less large veins. Look at what happens to the speed as we go through. It's going to be fastest here in the elastic arteries. But when we get down here to the capillaries, it's going to slow down quite a bit. So blood velocity is going to decrease all the way to when we get to the capillaries because of this. It has to do about a couple of things. Distance, as we get further away, it's going to decrease, and you have more friction. Also, think about the radii that's happening. It's getting smaller and smaller, which means more resistance. So that's going to decrease it as well. But look at that. There's that cross-sectional area. It becomes greater and greater. That's kind of what we want in the capillaries, though. We want blood velocity. We want blood to slow down in the capillaries because we want to have time for exchange of fluids and substances. So it makes sense, right? So just don't get this confused with pressure. Remember that this is going to look, the pressure gradient is going to look different. We talked about pressure earlier. Look what happens as it leaves the capillaries. Velocity is going to slightly increase, not get back to where it was, but it slightly increases. The reason why is because the veins are larger, there's less resistance. It's further away from the pumping heart, but also veins are more compliant. They're going to be a little bit more stretchy. So now the next video we're going to be taking a look at is putting all of the blood flow, the pressure gradients, and resistance all together and take a look at how each one is going to affect one another. So until next time.